Business law defense. I was just following orders. It is a common defense that defendants have against their bosses or employers in criminal law cases. Here lies an ethical dilemma. The fine line between what is ethical behavior for an individual at their workplace versus following the orders of a superior is often a controversial topic in business law. Employees must distinguish what is of more importance, the risk of performing unethically, what the legal ramifications would be for them, or following their boss's orders within their job duties and ultimately keeping their job. I was just following orders. The infamous plea known as the Nuremberg defense originated after World War II as Nazi war criminals used it to excuse their horrid actions. Placing the blame on a superior was and still is a defense mechanism that is used to prevent one from being held liable for their illegal or unethical actions, especially in the world of business. Oftentimes, an employee is truly just following orders in instances that involve white-collar crime, not knowing the specifics for a task that they are involved in. Therefore, it is crucial to ask probing questions regarding suspicious work duties that you are involved or requested to do. My current coworker, and I'll use the name Jane Doe to refer to her, has experienced white-collar crime herself, in which she and other coworkers similar to her in their position ended up being put on the stand to defend themselves against allegations of criminal work behavior. Her boss, like many in the company, would deliver her duties and tasks in which she did not know the specifics behind the scenes. Luckily, she was not held liable for what her bosses had been illegally had going on, since she had proven that she had no knowing involvement with her boss's illegal scheme. In the Heffler versus Wells Fargo & Co. case, the federal securities law was violated with the fraudulent opening of customer accounts. This led to the falsifying of stockholders' interests within the company, deceiving Mr. Heffler and many other investors. With the average bank holding 3 accounts with their current customer, Wells Fargo was pushing for 8. In the 2010 annual report, a statement made by CEO and chairman of the board, John Stumpf, was, and this is a quote, "Every customer of Wells Fargo should have 8 accounts because 8 rhymes with great." Their mission was to be the best at cross-selling, becoming the most valuable bank in the world. Heffler argued that Wells Fargo deceived him as well as other investors by falsifying their financial statements with their fraudulent selling practices. A statement made by an unknown former employee was, "It was the norm just to open sales unethically. It was what we were taught and we just did it." The employee was in fact afraid that if she did not comply with Wells Fargo's employees' procedures to meet weekly and monthly quotas from upper management, that she would lose her job. Like most of the bank tellers that worked there, she had a family to support and needed her job. She assumed that if this is Wells Fargo's selling tactic, then it must be okay and legal to do so. From the employee's perspective, unethical behavior at work is often triggered by the anxiety and overwhelming amount of stress caused by management expectations. I personally understand the reasoning why unethical employees crack under the pressure of striving to meet management quotas, which resulted in the falsifying of thousands of Wells Fargo bank accounts. Actually, bank and credit card accounts. However, it doesn't mean it's right, and it will have its consequences. It is important as an employee to educate yourself in any situation that you may feel is illegal or unethical to protect yourself. Having an insurance policy in the event that you are involved in a legal dispute regarding your work duties is beneficial. When Senator Elizabeth Warren questioned John Stumpf in the 2016 Wells Fargo hearing, she points out that in the company's investor meeting, they lured in investors and analysts with the fact that they had tremendously strong cross-selling tactics. Cross-selling retail accounts was all about pumping up Wells Fargo stock prices. From February 2014 to September 2016, if a customer had a few bank accounts and a savings account, they would be sold or fraudulently opened new credit cards accounts within the company. With an average of 6.75 million shares of Wells Fargo stock, share prices went up by $30, which ultimately comes out to the stock price plummeting to $200 million. When a company like Wells Fargo falsifies new accounts, not only did they hurt their company image and their code of conduct with their unethical behavior, they deceived their investors into thinking the company was far more successful than they truly were. In an attempt to get ahead with their illegal practices, Wells Fargo lost over $185 million in legal fees and $480 million in settlement fund fees, in which were awarded to the Heffler versus Wells Fargo and Company case. They lost most of their investors and have gained a reputation of unethical business behavior, damaging their code of conduct that will likely haunt them for years to come. From the employee's perspective of CEO John Stumpf, they got rid of the problem, in which the consequences of "I was just following orders" led to the firing of nearly 5,300 employees. He refuses to take accountability for the involvement in the scheme, placing the blame on the frontline employees. As he had reaped the benefits in hefty bonuses. The Heffler versus Wells Fargo case should serve as a reminder that ethics is huge in the world of business. High-level executives will be quick to throw you under the bus, fending for themselves, so you must avoid falling for the bait. And even though fraudulent practices do not come to the light right away, they eventually will, and there will be consequences for those that are knowingly involved with any part of the illegal scam. The "I was just following orders" defense will not hold in the court of law under these circumstances. Thank you.